Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience. I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the Beyerdynamic T1 second generation. I realize there's a couple different ways people pronounce Beyerdynamics. I've heard it pronounced Beyerdynamics, but looks like Bayer to me, and I know they're from Germany, and the pharmaceutical company from Germany that's spelled the same way pronounces their name Bayer. At least they do here in the US, so I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the second generation of the T1. These are made in Germany, and right now these sell through the Bayer website for $9.99. But I was looking on Amazon, and you can get these as low as $7.50, $7.40. That's in US dollars through Amazon, and that's for new. There's quite a few sites that are selling this for $7.99 right now. I think these, the first generation, I remember seeing these all the way back in 2011, I believe it was, when I was first getting into high-end headphones, and I think these went for about $13.95 back then. I mean, these were one of the top high-end headphones at that time. So anyway, this is a full-size wired over-the-ear semi-open design. They use a dynamic driver with what Bayer refers to as Tulsa technology, and I guess Tulsa technology has something to do with using very powerful magnets and a real close tolerance, which makes the headphone a lot more efficient. Because these are 600 ohm headphones, and 600 ohm headphones are normally very hard to drive, but they're with an efficiency claimed of 102 decibels at 1 milliwatt. These actually aren't all that difficult to drive, and I did try these with several amps, and I'll get into that in a second, let you know which ones. Anyway, these have a claimed weight of 360 grams, and I forgot to weigh them myself, so I'll do that before I do the full review in a couple of weeks. Oh, and I did want to mention that these were loaned to me by someone that watches this channel, and I think he's a member of the Headphone group also on Facebook. His name is John Steiner. So thank you very much, John, for loaning these to me for a review, and I will get them back to you in a couple of weeks. Anyway, the ear pads on these are velour, very soft, and they have memory foam inside of them. And the headband is a synthetic leather, and you can see how it adjusts here. It has click stops on it, and the cable is detachable on these, and I think that's a primary difference between the first generation and the second generation. And these use a standard 3.5 millimeter plug at each ear cup, and a lot of manufacturers are using that now. Anyway, the cable that came with these is very nice, soft. It doesn't make any noise rubbing on itself. It's about 3 meters long, which is around 10 feet, and it has a 6.3 millimeter standard single-ended plug on the one end, and it does screw off and reduces down to 3.5 millimeter for portable use, but not sure if there's many portables out there that can handle a 600 ohm headphone. Anyway, at the headphone end, for the ear cups, you've got your 3.5 millimeter connectors, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but one of them has white rings and one has red rings, and I've never seen that before. I thought that was kind of clever. It lets you know which one's right and left without having to actually stamp it on. So anyway, I did want to mention that I looked at the Bayer website, and these do come with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty impressive. Not many headphones companies warranty their headphones that long. Anyway, I wanted to give you a good look at these, the way they adjust. I showed you that. The headband is pretty well padded. The ear cups seem to be a plastic material with a real fine metal mesh on the ear cups, and these are semi-closed design, so they do leak a little bit of sound and they do let a little bit in, but not as much as a full open back. And if I can show you this inside, I don't know if you can see this. The driver is actually quite a bit off center to the front and angles back at the ear at a pretty good angle. So that does kick the sound stage forward a bit. I did notice it, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. As far as fit and comfort, when I get these adjusted right for me, they actually, they're very lightweight, and the ear pads are soft and they're very comfortable, and to be honest, I can barely feel them on my head. So these are a very comfortable headphone. I don't think these are going to be too heavy for anybody. I mean, 360 grams for a full-size headphone is quite light. And I've got to be honest with you, I've seen these for a long time. I've seen pictures, I've read articles about them. They have been around a while. And when I first saw these, they were a little smaller than I was expecting them to be. For a flagship headphone, I was expecting these to be pretty large and pretty heavy, and they're smaller and lighter than I was expecting. So getting into the sound, and I've only had these for a little more than a day now, but I did get a chance to listen to these for a couple hours last night. And excuse me a second. So I do feel ready to give my first impressions on these. And the tone balance, which is the first thing I wanted to talk about, it's just about neutral, but I would say it's just slightly on the warm side of neutral. I'm noticing that through the mid-range, upper mid-range, just a slight little bit of warmth. Other than that, just about pretty much neutral. Maybe just a slight emphasis in the sub bass. They've got a little bit of thump to the sub bass, so maybe not quite neutral, but really close. The frequency extension is very good on the bottom end, very good sub bass with these headphones, and it's good at the top end too. I mean, it doesn't go extremely high, but I don't really see it rolled off. I've heard some people actually refer to these as being sort of dark, and I'm not hearing it that way. And I actually prefer headphones that are a little bit on the bright side, and the treble doesn't seem to roll off on these at all, really, to me. I mean, the treble sounds good, so these are definitely not dark in my opinion, and they actually seem to have pretty good extension in the treble. The bass is really good on these. It's very tight, very well controlled, and it does go deep. The mid-range, like I said, it's just slightly on the warm side of neutral. I'm hearing vocals as set back a little bit. They're not up front. And this may be because of the angled drivers. And I do notice that more so than other headphones, the sound stage seems to be out in front of me a little bit and has a little bit of depth to it. And female vocals, I've noticed already, seem to sit just a little bit back further away from me than some of the other headphones I've listened to. But the mid-range it's just butter smooth. I mean, just really, really smooth. That's the strength of these headphones. I mean, they just never sound harsh. The treble is clean and clear. Once again, smooth, no harshness, I haven't heard the slightest hint of sibilance out of these headphones. Detail is really good on these. I'm not sure if they're quite as detailed as a couple of the most detailed headphones I've heard, but they're pretty close. It's way up there. And I need some time with these because of the upper mid-range being set back just a little bit on the stage, it might be hiding some of the detail that these have. It might not be as apparent, because if a headphone has a really forward mid-range on it, it can give an artificial impression of being highly detailed. And because these are set back a little bit, they don't jump out at you as being super detailed, but it seems that they might be. I mean, the detail seems really good on these. So give me a little more time with these and I'll go into that further in my full review. The sound stage, like I would say average width, average height, but it does seem to have more depth than most of the headphones I've listened to. And once again, I think that might be because of the forward set angled drivers angled back at my ears. It seems to be, I'm hearing a little bit less sound straight out from my ears. It just seems to be, everything seems to be kicked forward a few inches compared to most headphones. And the sound, especially female vocals, sound like they're out in front of me instead of in my head or right in my face. So I am kind of liking that, the depth of the sound stage. Overall, I would have to say this is a very well balanced headphone. Nothing really stands out, but it has no weaknesses yet that I've found. Like I said, I've only got a couple hours in on these, and I plan to put substantial time in on these in the next couple of weeks, because so far I am really enjoying this headphone. I really like it, and I plan to put a lot of time with these, and I have tried these with a couple different amps. I tried these with both, so far I've used the Audio GD Master 9, which is pretty much my reference amp. I do have the head amp GSX Mini in right now, and I've tried it with that. Both from the balanced outputs, I did get a balanced cable with these, and both of those amps I do believe sound better from the balanced output, and so they are designed as balanced, and I've gotten into that in a few of my other videos. I'm not going to jump into that too much right now. But anyway, and I did try these with the single-ended cable on them from the Felix Audio Echo, which is a OTL type of tube amp, which is really designed for high impedance headphones. And this is the first 600 ohm headphone, or anywhere close to 600 ohms, that I've been able to try with that amp. And I just maybe have about 5 or 10 minutes in with that amp so far, but it sounded pretty incredible. So I'm going to definitely spend some time with these, with the Felix Audio Echo tube amp, and it seems to be a really good combination. So I'm going to wrap this up for now, and I will get back to you in a couple weeks with a longer, more in-depth review of the sound of these once I get to know them a little better. Until then, once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up, and you are all welcome to join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. And if you want a Headphone Experience t-shirt, we now have them, so there's a link that will be in the comments of this video, and you can go to either the Headphone Experience on Facebook or the Headphone Experience sales page on Facebook, and you can get a 20% promo code for members from either of those to get 20% off on a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or coffee mug. So you can do that and help support this channel, which gives me the funds to ship some of these loaner headphones and equipment back. So once again, thanks for watching my video.